Did you know that one of the most powerful armies in the Middle Ages was run by a bunch of volunteer medical professionals? No, this isn't a joke. It's the story of the Hospitallers, a holy order founded in 1098 to help pilgrims on their way to the Holy Land. But after the First Crusade and the fall of Jerusalem to the Crusaders in 1099, their importance grew dramatically. In 1100, King Baldwin I granted them vast estates and other privileges, including the right to bear arms and to defend the kingdom. And so they became the personal army of the king. The Hospitallers spent much of their time fighting the Muslims, and they participated in numerous battles against them. But were they prepared for such a role? To find out, let's ask our resident medieval historian, John France. Well, the Hospitallers were initially a small group of medical personnel who cared for pilgrims on their way to the Holy Land. But when the Crusaders seized Jerusalem in 1099, they found themselves in a very different situation. The city was under constant threat from the Muslim forces of the Seljuk Empire, and the Crusader kings needed all the help they could get. So it was that King Baldwin I decided to grant the Hospitallers the right to bear arms and to defend the kingdom. This, of course, required a complete reorganization of the order. Their small medical staff was replaced by a full-fledged military force, and their hospitals were converted into barracks. But how did these newly minted soldiers fare in battle? Actually, they were pretty good. The Hospitallers were a very disciplined force, and they were also highly motivated. They took their vows very seriously, and they believed that they were fighting for a holy cause. This, of course, made them formidable opponents on the battlefield. However, their military success didn't make them popular with the local population. The Hospitallers were seen as outsiders, and many of them were killed in clashes with local peasants. As the centuries passed, the Hospitallers became a more professional military force. In 1118, the order was placed under the control of a Grand Master elected for life. This gave the order more stability, but it also made them more independent from the Crusader kings. By the 12th century, the Hospitallers were a major power in the Holy Land, and they played a key role in the defense of the Crusader states. However, their power didn't last forever. In 1291, the last Crusader stronghold in the Holy Land fell to the Mamluk Sultanate, and the Hospitallers were forced to retreat. But their story doesn't end there. They continued to fight the Muslims in other theaters of war, and they remained a powerful force in the medieval world until the 16th century.